Hello everyone, welcome to Financial Success. Today I'm going to be talking about a new stock that I have not talked about on the channel before, and they are focusing on needle devices for the healthcare industry. And so there's very few people talking about this stock, and I think that there is a lot of potential and that it is severely undervalued. And so if you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button. I'd really appreciate it. It really helps out the channel. And as always, I am not a financial advisor, so please do your own research. This is only my opinion. And so let's get into it. The stock I'm going to be talking about today is Retractable Technologies. And so the ticker symbol on that stock is RVP. And so as you can see, it closed today at $12.05 and it is up 2.5% after hours. And so it's currently trading at $12.35. And so as you can see here today in the stock market, it spiked early on up to $12.70 and then started falling down. And so I've been following this stock for a couple of weeks. I mentioned this in my Patreon group at $10.90. And so if you're interested in joining that, there is a link below this. Will provide access to a Discord chat. And so I'd also like to take a look at this article here. This is stating that they are going to be having a repurchase plan for up to $10 million of its common stock. And so under the plan, open market purchases of Retractable's common stock may commence June 18, 2021. And so that is tomorrow. They are able to start purchasing stock with this buyback program, and that may continue until June 18, 2022. And so they have a year to buy this stock. However, if they feel that their stock is heavily undervalued, which I believe the CEO does, then they will maybe buying tomorrow. And so that's just something to keep an eye on and look out for. And so down here, the CEO does state that our management is embarking on purchasing the company's stock because thanks to the dedication of our shareholders and continued efforts of our employees, the U.S. government has recognized that our technology provides a significant advantage in terms of eliminating waste of vital and costly medications and helps prevent the unnecessary spread of infectious disease. And so under these established circumstances, we believe that the company's stock is significantly undervalued. And so the CEO thinks that it's also undervalued, and so I would not be surprised if they start buying tomorrow, as they may know some news that is coming out with this, or that they continue to get more publicity from the government contract that they have received over the past year. And so I think there's a lot of potential for this company as they continue to grow and gain more publicity. And so I'd like to take a look at the company here and what they do. And so there's a little bit of history here. And so the CEO, Thomas Shaw, saw a television news segment about a doctor who contracted HIV from an accidental needle stick injury. And so the doctor complained that the design engineers were insensitive and unresponsive to the dangers faced by frontline healthcare workers. And so they saw a flaw in the design, and so the CEO, Shaw, who is an engineer, saw this as a problem and was looking for a solution. And so he was awarded an additional grant to commercialize the production of one of his retractable syringe designs and to produce products for clinical trials. And so I think this is very interesting. It is very impressive that he has come up with this solution. I think it is a very good idea. And so I'd like to take a look at one of their products here. And so this is the Vantage Point syringe. And so the Vantage Point syringe has been called the gold standard for retractable needle syringes. And so they are available in a variety of sizes, needle gauges, and needle lengths. The needle is automatically retracted directly from the patient into the barrel of the syringe. And so when the plunger handle is fully depressed, the pre-removal automated retraction virtually eliminates exposure of the contaminated needle, effectively reducing the risk of needle stick injury. And so what they're talking about over here, as you can see, once this needle is entered into the person, then it is fully depressed, the needle will actually retract back into the device. And so they did receive a large government contract for these during the pandemic for vaccines. And so I think this is definitely growing the publicity. And if people in the medical industry like these type of syringes, they will be using these for other things. And so I think this is going to continue to do very well going forward. And so I'd like to take a look at this as well here. And so this is stating some of the safety problems with syringes and as they are confronting the crisis. And so Retractable Technologies is focused on reducing healthcare-related exposure to bloodborne pathogens. And so a couple of the issues is needle stick injuries. And so it is estimated that there is over 320,000 needle stick injuries every year that occurs in the United States. And then they also have an issue of syringe reuse. And so the World Health Organization estimates that 40% of the 16 billion injections administered every year involved are reused. And so unsterilized syringes and needles, with rates of unsafe injections climbing up to 70% in some countries. And so this is a very large value. I cannot believe that is actually this high. So it is 40% of 16 billion. And so that is a substantial amount of syringe being reused. And so this would definitely stop that if these are used in hospitals. And so that's definitely a very beneficial point of this syringe as well. And so they also have many other devices as well. They have uniquely designed injection devices, patient-safe lure guard devices, Vantage Point blood collection devices, and then Vantage Point infusion devices. And so they are focusing on the safety in the medical industry for needles. And so I think this is very important. I think this company is going to do very well in the long term. And so I'd like to take a look at this as well, so we can see back in Q1 of 2020, they had a revenue of 7.67 million. And then in Q1 of 2021, they reported a revenue of 22 million. So this is a substantial increase. This definitely is because of the government contract. However, like I've stated before, this is only growing the publicity for this company. I think they will continue to do well. I do not think that these syringes are just going to stop being used. I think they're going to start being used more and more. And so I'd also like to take a look at this article here as well. And so this is stating that they received the notice of intent to extend the government contract. And so they have options to extend the government contract until February 14th, 2022. And so this would increase the value of the contract to about $93 million. And so this is very good. The government is still extending contracts to Retractable Technologies. Like I've said, they are still gaining publicity from this government contract, as well as more people in the medical industry are continuing to use them. And then they also have the buyback program that is starting tomorrow, where they can buy up to $10 million of shares over the next year. And so I think if we see a large buy order tomorrow, people are definitely going to think that the company is buying back shares. And so that's definitely could cause this to continue to run. And so I think this company is going to do very well here. This is a stock that I am very excited about, and I think they have a very bright future. And so if you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button. I'd really appreciate it. And if you'd like to see future videos, definitely hit the subscribe button, and I hope to see you in the next video. Thanks. Bye.